This episode sponsored by Lake Monster Details, producing the Don's Light and Magic Legacy line of parts, offering upgrade parts and decals for accuracy, special effects, and lighting. Visit www.lakemonsterdetails.com and make it glow. Also sponsored by GCals, producing aftermarket replacement decals and custom quality graphics for your favorite spaceships. Visit www.gcals.company.site and add some personalization to your sci-fi models today. Also sponsored by Mask Design, boldly going where no masking kit has gone before. Take your model to the next level of detail and accuracy with a masking kit from Mask Design. Visit Mask Design on Facebook or click the ordering link in the notes below the video. Also sponsored by Paragrafix. Add superior detail and accuracy to your models with photo etch, resin, and multimedia accessories from your first source for photo etch parts and more. Paragrafix. They count rivets so you don't have to. Visit Paragrafix at www.paragrafix.biz or click the link in the notes below this video. Hey, what's up, fellow modelers? Will here. Welcome to the Engine's Chair and welcome to another exciting build. So it's been a bit since I put something out, and that seems to happen a lot, but here lately work has been crazy. As everybody knows, life happens and things just take precedence over my joy in life, which is building building models. I have other joys in life, but building models is probably one of my top three, maybe top two. But anyway, so we are going to get into building the 1537 Reliant, which was just released. I don't know, it's probably been 2 or 3 months, maybe a little bit longer than that, but it hadn't been too long. But I've got some stuff from sponsors. I've got Gary's mask from Mask Design that we're going to take a look at, which I'll be using in this build. We've got Cass over Lake Monster Details has sent me some nice upgrades for the Reliant build. And Gus over GCals has sent me some decals I'm not going to be using on this build, but I will be doing a separate, straight out of the box build. I'm not doing any add-ons for that one. Just going to build it like it is out of the box. No lighting, nothing, just straight up build. Because I know some of you don't just want to build models. You don't want to, you're not into doing the lighting and stuff. So I'm going to do a build on that, and we're going to see how nice we can make it. But I think Gus's Aztec decals that he sent over to me from GCals are going to be doing a nice job of really sprucing up that model. So we'll take a look at that. And also, if you've noticed at the beginning of the introduction, I have a new sponsor. Paragrafix, Paul over there, has sent me some photo etch for this build, and I look forward to working with him in the future. I met him briefly at Wonderfest. He's kind of a busy guy there, but maybe I'll get to meet up with him again next year. But spoke to him briefly there, and we talked, and then we communicated afterward, and he has agreed to sponsor me. And again, thank you to Paul over at Paragrafix. We will take a look at his photo etch set for this model, and I'm looking forward again to looking at other photo etch that Paul has out there. He's got a lot of photo etch for a lot of different models. So, matter of fact, I'm using his photo etch set on the Lawrence Tribute build, which I finally have all the parts I need to continue that. Cass sent me, I guess you could say it's a care package full of additional parts. I've got some more parts he sent me for the 1350 Enterprise A that I'm working on. He sent me parts for the 1000 Excelsior that I'm working on, and he also sent me a part that we're going to look at for the 1537 Enterprise B. I'll have an update on that, hopefully not too long. I do have some video done on that, but it's not enough to put out an episode on. This episode here is really going to be kind of short. It's just going to be kind of an overview of the stuff that I'm going to put into this model and what I plan to do with this model, and that's basically it for this episode. And then we'll get into the build next episode. I'll have some stuff because I do have some stuff that I need to. I've got some parts that I'm going to show you here that I made for this model that are 3D print for me. I'm not going to sell the 3D prints, but I will make the parts available to others that may be interested. And but I had to make some modifications to it, and of course, wouldn't you know, my 3D printer broke. So now I'm waiting for a part to fix it. So I can't reprint the parts, but I can get. We can at least talk about what the plans are for this build, and take a look at what we're going to do with that. But I do want to mention though that this is the first build video that I'm doing, or the first episode I'm putting out since we learned of the passing of Boyd over at Truckworks, and I put out a statement on that. But I just want to reiterate what a great guy Boyd was. You know, you guys that have dealt with him, you've seen his channel, you may have even communicated with him. You know, I can remember when I first started this channel, I don't even think I had 1,000 subscribers yet, and Boyd commented on one of my videos. I was like, wow, Boyd's watching my videos? But that's kind of what guy Boyd was. He admired other people's work, and he would check out other people's video channels and give them a shout out. He gave me a shout out one time about my channel, and I mean, it's just the kind of guy Boyd was. I didn't get a chance to actually talk to Boyd. We communicated through email and exchanges in the comments on both of our YouTube channels. I was supposed to talk to him the first time. He was getting ready. He was talking about starting back up his show that he does, and or that he used to do. He was going to start it back up, and he had was going to have me as a guest on one of his episodes, and he was working that out. But unfortunately, we learned that he passed away, and it's definitely a big loss for the modeling community. He was definitely one of my inspirations, as well as many other people's inspiration for getting back into modeling, or even starting modeling if you hadn't been in it before. But he will be missed, and looking forward to hopefully having his videos around for a while, because I use them for references myself on my builds. But I just want to say that it's a sad loss, and Boyd, we're going to miss you. But let's get into the build. Let's honor his memory. We'll get into the build. So give me a minute. I'll put you on the bench. We'll get to work. All right, so I've been looking to start this build for a while. I've been waiting on some parts, and finally I think I've got everything in. Excuse me, in. And I'm not going to do an unboxing on this. If you want to see an unboxing on this, go over to All Scale Trek. Mario does some great unboxing videos over there. So go check out his page. Just do a search for All Scale Trek if you haven't seen it before. But you should have seen it by now. But yeah, again, Mario does some great videos over there for unboxing, so check that out if you want to see an unboxing. But I'm basically just going to talk about in this video what all I'm going to put into this model and what all I'm going to do with it. So first thing starting off, I've posted some Facebook pictures of this, but I have started. Infamously, this model does not have windows. And disappointingly further, the decal set that comes with the kit doesn't have windows either. They make you buy the Aztec set to get the window decals, and I think that's kind of a crappy way to do that. But this model doesn't matter because I'm going to open these up and make windows anyway. But I'm going to do mine differently. But I'm going to talk about two different ways you can open these windows. Once I get to talking about Paul from Photo Etch, he sent me, or Paragrafix, sent me a set of Photo Etch, and I'm going to talk about those here in a minute. But the way I'm going to do it is I've made these window inserts, and you can kind of see these here. Let me focus this a little bit. I've got to reprint these because I had to make some, if I can get my focus right, I've got to make some modifications to that, and this was just a quick throw-on paint job, so don't judge my painting on these because this is not what the final product is going to be. This is just to kind of throw it on here and take a look at it. But when you look at the studio model, you've got some kind of painted, or they might be actually be etched in. I don't know. I may actually etch them into this part as well. But they've got some kind of frames that go around. I forget what people call it, but there's some separators in here vertically. But horizontally, you've got these bands, or they're like, I think these are supposed to be sensor bands. And you've got 3 of them. I'm missing this. That's one of the modifications I had to make to this part. I'm missing. There should be a set of sensor bands up here. So I added those, but I got to reprint them now. So I have gone ahead and put those into the part. And basically, I'm going to talk about this more when I do the other side. I'll show you how I do this. But basically, you cut this opening and insert this piece, and it'll get glued in place, and then you can putty and sand it. And you'll have your open windows. Now, the reason why I'm doing it this way is because if you've seen my previous videos, you know, and I freely admit this, I suck at doing oval windows. And doing it this way is easier for me to get nice looking oval windows that match the round windows without tearing the model up. Now, Paul over at Paragrafix sent me a photo etch set, and thank you, Paul, for becoming the sponsor. If you noticed at the beginning of this video, Paragrafix is now a new sponsor I have, and I thank you again to Paul for supporting me. But he sent over the Paragrafix photo etch set, and it comes with templates for you to drill the windows out. Now, you can drill the windows out. They look great, and they come out great as long as you're good at doing oval windows. I'm not. The one thing I'm going to say about doing photo etch, though, is that when you do these, I highly recommend you use a hand-drilled pin vise. My other recommendation is that you don't actually drill into the photo etch part, because what happens is you've got to reuse these. You only get one for each section. So you got one to do this side and this side. Well, if you drill too much doing one side, you can actually open these up more or make them out of round, and the ovals you can actually tear up some too. What I recommend doing is actually putting these photo etch pieces in place, tape them in place. You can even use a glue stick to temporarily stick them in place if you want. But then take a pencil. I don't have mine up here. Take a pencil or something and just mark where the windows are. You can even, if you want, take a little bit of spray paint, just spray the windows, and that'll kind of put the windows on the model for you. And then drill them out that way, because that saves this piece from getting all messed up when you do just one side and then you go do the other side, and already these windows can be out of round. So that's one thing you can do with these photo etch parts, is get these windows drilled out if you want to do it that way. It's a little more work to do the window inserts that I'm doing, and I will make these available. Eventually I'll get these turned over to Cass over at Lake Monster Details, because I don't want to be in the parts supply business. I would rather build models than spend my time here printing off 3D parts, but I will make these available once I have verified that these parts will work with Gary's masks, paint masks from over at Mask Design. I also got a set of decals here we're going to talk about in a minute from Gus. Let me get back in focus here. So I just wanted to mention I've got these made up just not only for the front, but also I've got the window inserts for the side. I've got inserts just like you would typically get with the refit model, and those, you just cut this part out and those fit right into place. But I don't know why they didn't do that with this model. You know, you have the window inserts for the 1537 refit, but when they did this model, they just, for whatever reason, they, instead of put windows in, they just made a smooth hole. And there was a different version where this had kind of a stair step on where the windows are now. And I think when they removed that, they just took everything off, all the detail off. But so I'm working on these window inserts. I'll have them for these back windows as well on here. So that would be an option to light this. And we'll talk about a lot of this other stuff once I get to that point in the build. But I want to take a look at everything my sponsor sent. And what I've got is, let's talk about Cass over Lake Monster details. So Cass has a replacement bridge and BC deck for this model, and it's actually got the windows. Let me focus this in a little bit. He's actually got the windows in the back there for the officers lounge, and he's also got the windows molded in for around the sides as well, and some additional detail that is not on this model as it comes in the kit. So that's a great piece. Now it's going to take a little bit of work to cut that BC deck out and then put this in, but it's got a bit of a lip on it, so once you cut it out, if you follow Cass's instructions and do it properly, this will just slide, fit right into place. You may have to do a little putty, a little sanding, and then you've got this bridge as well that's more accurate that sits there, and Cass actually has this bridge done up so that it's got the, if you light block it, let me see if you can make that out in this. He's actually got the 3 separate openings there. I don't know if I can get it to focus on this clear part, but there you go. You can see there he's actually got those 3 separate openings there. If you mask off and light block, you can light those red and you'll get those 3 red lights. So that's a great feature to have on that part. But again, this part just slips right into place on top of the BC deck. So we only got to modify where the BC deck goes in, because this is already set and open for this clear part to go in. So we've got that part that I'm going to be using from Cass over at Lake Monster Details. And another part that he sent me that a lot of people are probably familiar with are the Impulse, or not the Impulse, but the Warp Chiller grills. And he had only been offering these in, I think, purple and blue. But I asked him if he could do them in clear for me, because I want to do something. I want to have a little more options as far as what color I want to make these and how I want to light them. So he did these in clear, and he said he is going to offer these in clear as an option on his website as well. So if you would rather have these in clear, as always, click the link in the bottom, go to Lake Monster Details, and check out Cass's parts. But we'll be using these on the nacelles. So those are Cass's parts. In addition to that, Gary over at Mass Design just came out with his paint mask set for the 1537 Reliant. And this is it, kit 14. That's what you need. The link for this will be in the notes below as well, as always. But if you haven't seen his videos for this, showing how this goes on, the results are phenomenal. I'm looking forward to using this. In addition, if you don't want to buy additional stuff as far as for the windows, if you're not going to light this model and you just want to put windows on it, Gary has in his masks, he has built into it to where you can paint the windows on, and he talks about that in his video as well. So make sure you check out his build videos if you want to see how these masks work. But they look awesome in his videos. I'm looking forward to using these, and we'll get that done as soon as we get to that stage. It's going to be a little bit. We need to get some assembly done. I at least want to have the primary stages assembled before I do any of the masking. So we got a little bit before we do that, but we'll get to that as soon as we can. In addition, I will be doing a straight out of the box build of this as well. I'll probably wait till I get a little bit into this build at least, until because I'm not going to put lights or anything in that out of the box build. But in that out of the box build, I'm going to use Gus over at GCals. Has a nice Aztec set, and he actually sent me, I think this is, yeah, so he sent me these in grayscales. I think he was looking at possibly doing one with some blue to it, because he sent me a set for the Excelsior, or the Excelsior Enterprise B. He sent me a set, and it's got some blue Aztec in it as well. But this is just grayscale, which is great. You can see here he includes the windows on this, so you get those with that, with his mask, or excuse me, his decal set. So that's great to have as well. So make sure you check out Gus. Again, I'll be doing a separate build of this, just straight out of the box build with no extras. The only thing I'm doing extra is the decals from Gus, and we'll see how this will turn out. I'm sure it's going to turn out spectacular, because Gus does awesome decals, Never had a problem with his decals, unlike some of the ones you get out of the kit. They're always great, and I don't have any problems with them coming apart. They react really well to your decal solvent, Solvaset, or your microsol, whatever you want to use. These always work really well with it. So look for that. I'll be doing that build separately. And I'd already mentioned about Paul over at Paragrafix. Again, thank you, Paul, for your support. But Paul sent over this. This set has been out for years. So if you haven't dealt with this, give it a try. Give it a look. There's a lot of stuff. Even if you don't drill out the windows, there's some great details on here. He's got the venting for the back rear corners of the Reliant. He's got some nice shuttle bay mods that make it a bit easier to light those shuttle bay doors up. He's got your impulse grills. He's got these triangular pieces that go on the back of the around the shuttle bay. And let me just hit on something on that real quick. So it's great that he has those, because the ones that come on the kit are really positioned kind of weird. These two in the middle are actually higher than the ones on the outside, and they shouldn't be. They should be at the same level as the one on the outside. And so it's just kind of weird to me when you look at it to see these ones are way higher than these. Plus these lights, which I'm going to have to drill out and light probably with fiber optic, need to be down further. They're too far out from the shuttle bays than where they should be. But and then, like I said, he's got the for these vents here on the back, so we'll do some work on those and get those photo etch parts in. But he's going to have to move over some anyway, because otherwise I think that photo etch part's going to kind of interfere with this triangle on this side here. So we got some work to do there. And other than that, I mean, that's pretty much everything I'm putting into this kit. The lighting, I actually have the antenna controls board that I salvaged from my previous Reliant build. So I've got that. This basically does the strobes and the navigational lights. I will probably do something with an Arduino or an AT Tiny as far as the photon firing. And I don't know if I'm going to do anything for the phasers, but I will do something for the photons firing. And but I've got this. I salvaged it from, I previously built this model, probably about 8 years ago, and I didn't do a build video. That was before I was doing build videos, but it turned out really nice. I was really happy with it. There's some pictures up on Facebook if you want to go back and take a look at it. It's probably around 2018, 2019, I think, that I built that one. But sadly, that model did not survive when we moved back here to Virginia from New Mexico. So I basically just tossed it, but I did salvage this was the one thing I could salvage out of it, was this control board. So I'm glad I did. So I'll be using that, and its memory will live on in this model. So anyway, that's basically my plan for this model, to get started on it and build this. And I've got, of course, I've got the other builds going on. I now have the parts I need to continue with the Ian Lawrence 1701A build. So I got those parts from CAS now, and I'll be continuing that build. I will also be working on, I've got some video done for the 1537 Enterprise B. I know I've had people ask me if there's going to be an update on that. There will be an update soon, but that takes a lot more work. I've got Aztecs that I've got to work out on my own for that, because there isn't an Aztec set for the 1537 Enterprise B. So I'm working those out as I go along. So there's a lot of work that has to go into that. I've got the 1000 Excelsior that I also just now, CAS sent me a kit of all kinds of stuff for the Excelsior, some extra parts for that. So I've got those now, and I've got Gus's decals for that as well from GCals. So we'll be looking at that build here shortly. But just wanted to put something out on this, and just get out a big thank you again to Paul over at Paragrafix for for his support, and I'm looking forward to working with him on these builds. So again, as always, a shout out to my sponsors, Gus over at GCals, Cass over at Lake Monster Details, Gary over at Mass Design, and now Paul over at Paragrafix. As always, links for their wares are in the notes below, so please check them out. But until next time, keep modeling.